So you've purchased your dream property, you've paid the deposits, you've signed the reservation contracts, you've obtained your NIE numbers, you've opened bank accounts. All that's left is the completion at the notary. In this week's 2 Minute Tuesday with Hondon Valley Homes, we're going to explain what happens on the day that you actually go to the notary, and even how you can purchase your own villa without going to the notary itself. So welcome to this week's 2 Minute Tuesday, episode number 36. Now firstly, if you're not sure what a notary is, then you need to look back at episode number 35. So stop this video now, go and have a look at episode 35 and come back. And in that episode I explain exactly what the notary is, why you need one when you're buying and selling a property here in Spain. So in the week before the completion of your property, your lawyer will have written to you to confirm the final figures for the sale for both the buyers and the sellers. They'll confirm the date, the time, the location the notary is set for, and with the big day fast approaching, everything is in order. Now on the morning of completion for the notary, I will take the buyers to the villa that they're purchasing to do a final check of the property, and they can check the agreed inventory if that's on the agenda. I also check that everyone has their passports, their original NID documents with them, and then everyone will jump in the car with me and we'll drive to the notary. Now, fortunately, the notary that we do most of our completions at is just a few yards from a local coffee shop. So what I generally tend to do is drop the buyers and the sellers to have a nice cup of coffee. I then take all their documents up to the notary office so that the administration work can be undertaken. Now, it's much better sitting having a nice cup of coffee in a cafe than being sat in a waiting room at a notary's office. Now, after about 15 minutes or so, I'll get a message from one of the lawyers to bring the buyers and the sellers up to the notary office. The lawyers will then take each of their respective clients into a meeting room and they will translate the new property deeds for them. Now, the deeds, which are called the escritura in Spain, are probably the only document in the whole property buying process that you will see that's entirely in Spanish. So unless you speak fluent Spanish, you will need it translating. Now, when the deeds have been translated by your lawyer, both parties will be taken into the notary's office, and the notary themselves will check your passports, all your legal documents pertaining to the sale, and all the papers for the property. The notary will liaise with both buyers and sellers regarding the transaction. They'll see proof of payment from the buyers. They'll make sure that the sellers have been paid. And then they'll pass the new deeds to the buyers and the sellers for them to sign. Then the lawyers will sign the deeds, and finally the notary will have signed. And when he's done that, we've completed the sale or the purchase of the property. The vendor can then hand over the keys to the new owners. And at Hondon Valley Homes, we always like to take a commemorative photo of the occasion. Now, we'll go back into the waiting room where within a few minutes a copy of the new deeds will also be supplied for the buyer and the seller. And that is basically what happens at the notary when you're buying or selling your home here in Spain. Now, at the start of the video, if you remember, I mentioned that you can buy a property without going to the notary. Now, you can do this with a POA or a power of attorney, which will allow your lawyer to sign the deeds on your behalf. Now, this you can arrange from your own country or with a visit to a notary here in Spain. And look out for, in the near future, we're going to do an episode of 2 Minute Tuesday talking about power of attorney in greater detail. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of 2 Minute Tuesday. You found this information useful. Please subscribe if you wish to be kept up to date. You can either click on the small logo, which is down in the bottom of the screen here, or wait until the end of the video and you'll see a round logo on the screen. You click on that and you can subscribe. There's going to be new episodes uploaded each and every Tuesday at 9 o'clock sharp. If you've got any questions about buying or selling here in Spain, we're more than happy to help, and please drop me a line on the details on the screen at the moment. So once again, many thanks for watching this episode of 2 Minute Tuesday. Hopefully we'll see you next week. However, for now, adios.